now.
What up, what up, what up, peoples? Commentary, we're back. Another episode. This is episode number 6. I am Alan. Shout out to B in the building. What's happening? You got a different background today. What's
I
happening
do,
over
I
there?
do. I decided that I was gonna pull up on Rashad this morning for recording. So here we are. And he gave me the temperature, is what he called it.
A lot of nasty things happen in this chair. It's never cleaned at all. So you have all the residue of trifling C and backstreet action right here. What's up, fam? I'm here. I'm handling my business.
Shadzilla in the building. Rashadisms. What's happening? Look, if you had some OG parents back in the day, somewhere in their pictures in that shoebox downstairs is that chair with your daddy sitting down with his leg crossed at the ankle and your mother standing there with a fur coat with her arm on that chair somewhere. So my mom and daddy got one. Well, this was back when they was tight, so things changed. No. Oh man, we want to welcome everybody back, man. Commentary. This is intellectual black versation.
Yeah.
You folks, it don't matter if you're black, white, gray, blue, green, yellow, red. Hey, come on in.
Wait a minute, AI. You're so kind and generous, and you always introduce us. We never introduce you. How are you doing today, AI? How do you feel, man? What's going on? Talk to me.
Hey, listen, man. They giving me shit here. So I'm in a wedding this weekend. My best childhood friend is getting married, so we couldn't go all out and do the girls and lap dances and all that. So the groomsmen party came over here. Is that what it's called? Is it groomsmen party, the groom party, the groom? Because it's not bridal party. I mean, that would be like inclusive of all the bridal
I think
party.
it's just groomsmen.
The groomsmen. So yeah, because like y'all have the bridal party. That's really cute. I thought I'm gonna have to deem a name for us groomsmen out here. I'm gonna figure that out. But if you can hear my voice is a little raspy. Last night got real, and it was just the fellas, and we knocked back a lot of shots in our social distancing / unsocial distancing kickback. But it was cool. It was cool. So I'm a little raspy, if you can tell, and if you're gonna see me on YouTube, you can probably say I'm looking a little rough. I got my haircut though, first haircut since March.
Looking fresh.
Right.
Man, I was scared in the chair, man. My barber, I told him to wear a mask. He told me he left it at home. I'm like, bruh, come on, dog. You're killing me, Smalls. Come on. Speaking of not wearing masks, I went to a local venue last weekend.
Climax?
No, I didn't go to Climax. I did not go to Climax. I'm scared of Climax on a regular day, and not because I'm not a G, but because Climax is a different experience.
Yeah, it really is, man. Salute to them, man.
I don't. Yeah, no. I'm good on Climax, man. Shout out to the people that go. No diss to you whatsoever, but that's just not my set. Um, but I ended up at a local venue here in St. Louis, and it was probably about a good 350, 400 people in there. You're probably wondering, like, what the hell? Why did you go out? So, long story short, I had to meet somebody to pick up some goods. Nothing like that. Right. I had to pick up something from the homie. Had to meet the homie to pick up something. And that just happened to be the only place we could be at in the same time in the amount of time that we were allotted. So ended up in there, man, and 350, 400 easy. I probably saw 10 masks, including my own. Wow. And people were asking me, like, "Oh, I was good, bro. Why you got a mask on?" I was like, are you serious?"
Right.
You think shit just over? It's sweet out here. Okay, yeah, cool. No. But yeah, a couple girls reached in my mask. If you was gonna wear your mask, you should have just stayed home. I was like, oh, all of us gonna be staying at home here shortly.
Exactly. I called it. Yeah. I swear to God.
Yeah.
All of us gonna be because right now, in case you did not know, the media and the memes are saying that we got the joke. There's a meme on social media says when the second wave of COVID comes back, it's gonna say, "Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Cove." Well, unfortunately, Cova is here.
Right.
That second wave is here. If you have not been paying attention, it's back. A lot of states are putting up numbers right now that are uh, a lot higher than previous.
Right.
Just some quick facts here. The three big, well, not three big, but the top three states for spread right now, are not spread, but new cases, are California, Texas, and Florida.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised New York is not in there, but I'm sure they're somewhere in the top five.
Right.
And it's probably for a few reasons. So I'll kind of give my first theory. Um, a lot of states just needed to open up financially. They couldn't afford to really be shut down anymore. It was, I think somebody I know told me the other day that since March they've made like 17,000 in unemployment, which is more than what they would have normally made at their job.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 17 grand in unemployment, which is more, like I said, than they would have made it at their 9 to 5.
Probably
And
been a year though. Like some of these people are have made more since March in unemployment than they possibly would have in like a year. You think about like these fast food workers, these store workers, like they not making.
I got an update for y'all.
yeah, put your face in the camera, man. Put your face in the camera.
I got an update for you. You stupid. I got an update for you. So I am furloughed. I've been furloughed since April 25th. My scheduled date to go back is August 3rd. And here in the state of Missouri, the Department of Labor or whatever, they sent out a text message this morning. So they hit you up on a Saturday. And they're saying, they in the message it said two things. It said, number one, that the COVID pay, which we all kind of knew this, ends July 25th. And I don't think it's going to be reinstated. Like, to be honest with you. It may, but I don't think so. But number two, for the people who have been receiving checks and, just living their best life, they're saying, like, after July 5th, you have to have job entries as far as, like, what you searched and prove that you've been searching for jobs or whatever. So, like, I just say this to the people who think it's sweet. Oh, they shutting that shit down.
Yeah.
So if you bought that new house off of OnlyFans and unemployment.
Her line is shut up.
Yeah, y'all need to talk about that at some point, that OnlyFans thing.
The OnlyFans?
Yeah, the OnlyFans house.
You got that AI kid, because we was on the same post, like, just what happens when...
Oh my God. No.
I'm doing OnlyFans speak page.
I had talked to Bay about doing an OnlyFans page so that we can get it cracking and get some extra income in here. She said no, though. So, hey, look, I don't need to go to Hollywood no more. I don't need to go to the hills just to shoot no videos.
Oh,
do it in the comfort of my home.
Right. So moving right along.
So, yeah, so we got, the numbers are going back up. And, I'm not here to preach to anybody, live your best life, do you. If you are living your best life and doing you, just kind of be mindful of people that are kind of abiding by the rules. As of late, I've been bending and flexing a little bit, not tremendously, but I definitely haven't been going as hard as I was initially, for sure. How are you all in that space right now? How are you feeling? What do you think about the increase? Like, how is that affecting you, family, anybody? Do you know anybody that has been affected recently?
I don't know anyone who's been directly impacted, like, has gotten COVID or anything like that. But I do know, like, where I work part-time is a very high traffic type of situation. And it's a place where that was completely shut down. So a lot of people, were excited to come back to the fitness center. But we take like very extreme measures as far as temperature taking, employees are required to wear masks, the cleaning protocols are, extremely heightened. But you do see so many people who come in and they really could care less. Why do I have to get my temperature taken? Why don't you? It's for, it's just the measures of keeping everybody else safe. And I get it. We've been in the house for 3.5 months, but it's just kind of like,
man,
you have to, it's either you want to be in the house for some more months or you want to be in the hospital on a ventilator or you want to be dead. Which one is it going to be? So everybody just has to take their own precautions and move accordingly in order to be safe, or the numbers are going to continue to rise and they are going to shut us down again. And then what are people going to do? Because like Rashad said, that $600 is about to be cut off. So y'all got to figure it out.
Yeah. Another thing too, going back to like the clubs, I know we crack little jokes and stuff. But one of the things that I'll say, and that 3 of us on here actually all 4 of us at some point have dealt in nightlife and event throwing and the whole scene. What I believe we'll start seeing, because some of these clubs are not practicing the correct like COVID protocol, if you will. Mm-hmm. So they don't have like the bylaws or the questionnaires or like, the things that stress, like if you feel this way, if you're having these symptoms, so on and so forth, and they're not checking people's temperature. So what ends up happening is, like, let's say for instance, with our great brother D.L. Huey, who ended up, passing out during a live performance and having, as he said, COVID-19. It's like, for instance, if in that club they weren't checking people's temperature, there wasn't any kind of like instruction or anything as far as like dealing with it, those are like lawsuits. You know what I mean? Hey, I ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So with these clubs, when you're just opening your door and like, oh, come on in, let's get to the bag. All it takes is one person to get sick, and the party goers and the Negroes that kick it and all this other stuff would just be like, hey, they didn't take my temperature. I didn't see anything that said anything about COVID. I thought this was a COVID-free zone. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that means. But that's a potential lawsuit. If somebody, I don't know if you all remember the case about it's back when the conversion vans or something started having like auto drive. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably saying the wrong term.
Cruise control.
Cruise control. Mm-hmm. But what it was is they thought cruise control was a form of like automatic driving. So
like the Teslas, yeah.
This is back in the 80s.
I know.
They put the van. This is a stupid story, and I'm glad the person lived. But they put the conversion van in cruise control, and then they went to the back or got in the back or something to try to take a nap. Mm-hmm. And the van crashed, as we all know it would. Do you know they sued the plant that made the conversion van, and they won?
He won. Yeah, that's a very famous lawsuit. I forgot the dude's name, but
he won. Yeah.
You
didn't say that it did not drive by itself. The cruise. So just imagine if somebody would win that lawsuit, the person who's like, hey, I came to your party all COVID cute and whatever, and I ended up with COVID, and you didn't take my temperature. Mm-hmm. You won't be having a pimp cup in 2021, I can promise you.
Yeah. You all know, but everybody doesn't know. I work in insurance by day. I'm actually an insurance agent. Mm-hmm. And I get a lot of calls, especially recently, regarding lawsuits pertaining to what you're talking about, essentially. And people are like, yo, so we got business insurance, but if we get sued for this, and this, and here's my disclaimer. I'm an insurance agent. I'm not an attorney, right? So that's my disclaimer. Boom, gone. Mm-hmm. I just advise, if you have a business, put up some form of something pertaining to, because like you said, if there's nothing there, that is fair game, and there's no guarantee that your insurance policy will cover that, because this is considered a a global pandemic. So those would probably fall under exclusions in a policy because there's nothing you can do. You know, like government mandates and global pandemics and crises generally are going to be exclusions because the amount. I mean, it's just it'll be the results are catastrophic. So you know, if we paying out, and I say we, by the companies, if we're paying out, those type of claims and lawsuits where you could have potentially all those people that are suing. I mean, I'm not in business anymore. I can tell you that. So, you know, but if you have a business, hey, figure it out. And I know, a lot of people can't afford to shut down because the clubs and restaurants, they're just gonna try and get their money, man. And that's what it is. I get it. They got to keep the doors open. Um, as an individual though, you have to be mindful, bro. Like you have to be mindful. And I saw a girl the other day post about how there's like this some kind of post going around on Facebook and Instagram about how masks cause carbon dioxide poisoning or monoxide poisoning or something like that. And I don't know if it's monoxide or dioxide, but one of them. And it talks about how it weakens your immune system and all this other stuff. So, me being the ignorant guy that I am, I said, "Hey, have you ever used a condom?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Great. Have you used it properly?" She said, "Well, how do you know it properly?" Is bingo with your dumb ass. Like,
gotcha.
Put on a damn mask, man. Nothing's guaranteed. A seatbelt, you could die with a seatbelt on. You could fucking die if your airbag pop out. Like, but guess what? It's safer. Like, just do this shit.
You pay attention to self and you drive how you're supposed to drive. 9 times out of 10, you're going to keep other people on the road safe. If you wear your mask, wash your fucking hands, use hand sanitizer properly for self and your family, then you're gonna keep other people safe and you're gonna keep yourself safe as well. So just do it. Shut up.
Yeah.
You can cuss.
I know. I'm trying to.
You trying not to?
Just
it's the morning time.
Say less.
Yeah, this is her first morning.
Do it. Just say less and do it.
Say less and do it. I mean, yeah, because I don't know. FYI, this is not us endorsing that you need to wear a mask, but do what suits you. But other people are driving with you, so keep that in mind.
I just think we're at a place where it's, and this is a generalization, of course, but it's like safety measures versus liberties. You know what I mean? And this is an interesting storm, especially for people, I ain't gonna go there, but for people who are not used to being told you can or cannot do something.
We know who those people are.
I was gonna say, are those the people you're talking about?
We know who those people are.
Originally, before, and I don't want to get protests fresh, but before the protests, we really would have seen a lot of action from, be it involvement and or sidelining. The initial protests were COVID protests, where you had people who was like, I'm coming outside, I want to come outside, I don't want to wear a mask, I don't want to X, Y, and Z. And it wasn't a lot of us there. You know what I'm saying? Just little fun facts before it really got to pop.
Yeah, I mean, low key, I think that black people really took this wind is kicking up outside. Sheesh. I think we got a bad rap really early on, but the truth of the matter is, I live in an area where a lot of people don't look like me. I mean, I live in St. Louis City, but my neighborhood is being gentrified as we speak. The dude is literally next door working on a house right now. So, when I would go to, the parks and stuff that are around me and kind of, the restaurants, when people, nobody looked like me. I'm talking, man, I remember I went to Forest Park one day. That thing was bumping. I'm talking about the walking path was wall to wall. And, I think that for us, like we had this bad rep, and I think a lot of it came from us internally. I'm not going to air out folks who don't believe in doing are people like that in the public eye, but just it it was what it was. Everybody and their moms was out kicking it, and then we pop out and it's, oh well, y'all need to stay at home. More of us are dying. This is the reason that the COVID numbers up. Well, no, the same reason that more of us are dying is the same reason that more of us are in jail and don't go to college. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I digress on that one because that's gonna take us into a whole nother hour.
Right.
But I mean, speaking of the protest, the defund the police movement is a hot topic right now. It's really picking up some steam.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, man, the leader of St. Louis, she jumped on live and got it cracking, man. Like, um, if you're not familiar with what happened, I mean, I think most of the people that are listening are, but people out of town, if you're not familiar, I'm sure this is going to make national headlines probably by Tuesday, if not before.
Right.
The mayor of St. Louis City is Lyda Krewson. She was elected. Is there an election again next year, or is it this year?
Mm-hmm.
I think one's coming up for mayor. I think, because how long is that term? It's 5, 6, 5. I think. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up.
Next year, I think. Don't quote me, but it might be next year.
I know it felt like Slade was in there for an eon. That's what I know.
Bro, he pissed off the wrong people, so they got him up out.
We ain't get him out of there. I can tell you that.
No, it definitely was not us. Definitely wasn't us. I that's a whole nother story if we start talking voting numbers in the city. But hey, right. But she only won by a slim margin. So let's talk about that real quick. She only won. I think she won by less than 900 votes. Against her main contender was Tashara.
Wasn't it like that split vote situation that kind of like was really weird in that particular election, thanks to some of our aldermen?
Yeah, where it's like I got to say it. I heard an elder say a long time ago, young man, you ain't gonna never be able to get 5 niggas to piss in the same boat. I did not know what that meant. I got older. Take it away, B.
Case and point. Yeah.
Alderman, thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna say no names.
Y'all could have been stuck together.
Yep.
That shit was like being in a club back in the days, because of course you shouldn't be clubbing right now. But even though people are. But it used to be, remember back in the day, it used to be, we gonna see you in the house. North side, east side, west side, uptown, Brooklyn,
right.
All that shit. Sometimes you just gotta be together. But you live, you learn, right? Or maybe you don't. Anyway, hey, sorry about that.
No worries, brother. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Where was I? Oh, so she won by a very slim margin. But I think there was a point in time where a lot of people thought that Krewson was really not necessarily the progressive, but she had a progressive mindset in certain aspects. If we were continuing to think that, last night showed us that that was not the case. So if you're not familiar with what happened, she basically got on to a live chat and released the names and address of some key protest figures in the city that are heading up the defund the police movement here locally with us. It's been rumored that one of those people is a minor. That's not confirmed, so I don't want you to say that you heard that on commentary that it was confirmed, but it's been rumored that one of those individuals was a minor. And it just so happens that today there's an all protest. Yeah, the time is just kind of crazy, man. I'm not here to throw out any conspiracies. But I wholeheartedly do not believe in coincidences. I just don't. I'm one of those people. And that applies to everything, you know, like all of a sudden, and I put it in layman's terms, right? Your girl is liking some nigga pictures on IG all the time, and you kind of peep gaming it, and they just end up in the same space together a lot, and you're around. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't happen, bro. No. So, you know, I don't believe in.
It happened to me in real life, by the way. I just wanted to put that out. That did.
I don't believe in coincidences. It will. Hey, look, I'm gonna sidebar that so we can come back to that at a later date.
Yes, sir.
If we need to redo, if you didn't take a picture, it didn't happen, bro. We need to do part 2.
Ooh.
We need to do part 2.
This man, I just gotta please don't lose your thought. But I just gotta say to the people who watch commentary that AI is a genius.
It's like, hey, I appreciate it. Look, hey, yo, this is our baby.
You know, you made that comment before it was either at the beginning of the smartphone social media boom. I think it was a little bit before we would even know that these things.
It came from the party pictures. That's when AI came up with it.
He said it came
from the party picture. That's when he came up with it.
Dude, your foresight, like, I still trip off of, like, how did this brother know?
Crazy.
If you did not see it, it did not. But go ahead, sorry.
You're good. We did part 2. Hey, part 2 coming, y'all. We'll let you know.
It's in my head. I got it.
No, so, you know, there just happens to be a alt protest, alt left, alt right. I don't know which one it is. Here in St. Louis today, and those names were released. So I'm going to present you all with a couple of questions. Number one, I don't want us to go way too deep, but the defund the police movement from at the surface, how do you feel about that? Would be definitely one question. Mm-hmm. 2, how do you feel about our leader and the leadership, past, present, and where do you think it's going future as well? And thirdly, how do you feel for those individuals? Like, do you think that it was appropriate? I don't know the legal ramifications of that. Obviously, it could be done if she did it, right? But then is there like a lawsuit or anything? We need to consult a lawyer on that one. But, you know, how do you feel for the individuals? Like how do you think they should feel? Was that a move to get the general public, not general because we're part of the general, but a certain piece of the public against them specifically, so that movement slows down, you think? Or like what? Let me know.
I personally would say yes. You know, nothing is for certain, and nothing only that person and those people know. But I would say, like, the way that I'm looking at it, yes. And I'm gonna work a little backwards. There's a petition going around to get her removed, like ASAP Rock.
Yes,
I was floating around last night, not too long after, you know, she made that move.
Yeah.
I think it ain't even what I think. I know that you just put a lot of people in danger.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure. So a lot of things are a little cloudy for me about this situation, but I do know anytime somebody is signing like a petition or, you know, soliciting certain information. Now, I don't know if it was something that said, hey, your information would be protected or not. But regardless of that, I just got to use the word immature of someone who has leadership over the city. You know, that's just a fucking idiot move. It's just like, and I'm with you, AI. Like, I can't lie to you. I love being a conspiracy theorist. I was about to say, I don't like it. I love that shit. But no, seriously, I was like you when I knew that they were having this like alt-left, you know, situation out at, is it alt-left or alt-right?
It's all right.
I always say, I'm getting shit wrong.
I've been getting confused, bro, too.
You know, well, brother, if you think about it, 3 lefts is actually a right. No, but anyway, it's like the alt-right, you know, they're at Art Hill today in St. Louis at 11 o'clock in case you wanted to go visit and, you know, speak to the family, you know. But I just thought that was a trip. I was like, I find it real. That's quite the coincidence. So I'm with you on that. But I think with something, when someone does something like that, that's extremely dangerous, extremely cynical for whatever her reasons are, even though mine still fall under the conspiratorial thought. You know what I mean? And she needs to be let go. That's like extremely immature. How could I trust you with anything or to handle anything or to even believe in the information that, you know, you share with us as tax-paying citizens in the city. You know what I mean? Nah, man, she gotta get out of here. And as far as like the defunding the police, I'll be honest, I'm somewhat ignorant towards what that overall movement is. I know some people were saying for the police no longer to be be militarized or military. I may have said that word wrong. To like receive all this military gear and just all this riot gear and stuff, and the monies be allocated in different areas. And then other people are saying, just get rid of the police. Now I'm going to say something that's going to, you can put me on a coon train. That's fine. But I'm telling brothers and sisters, until we truly can police ourselves, like 100%, think about that one. Now, as far as people looking like us, I had a conversation with a brother who's an officer. I won't say his name on here, but he's a very outspoken brother. And we went back and forth on a lot of things, but I can't say that everything he spoke on I disagreed with. One of the main things that he said, and this may not be, I'll just throw it out there, this may not be the conversation here for now, but he just said, instead of like, of course he took issue with defunding the police, but he was just saying, if brothers and sisters will kind of, take a different, I'm gonna put it in my words, have a different mental approach towards, the whole fuck 12 and all of this stuff. It's like, why don't you invest, whether it's like becoming a cop or not, just invest more in your community and have more officers that look like you. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, I hear where you're coming from. I still think, it's still some murkiness in that conversation. But I was like, I can't say I 100% disagree, but, I'm assuming that the brass is the brass is the brass. So that's still a whole nother conversation, but it's I don't know. So when it's this whole defund thing, I guess I'm making that point to say that at the least, until, even if we don't go under another systemic whatever that's meant to put their foot in our ass, and we do for self, which we need to do, and we're gonna have to. Until we're ready to police ourselves, if defunding means just totally eradicating police whatsoever and not switching the program, just like ending it, period, then I don't know about that one. I don't know. What's your take, B?
So defunding doesn't mean dismantling.
Okay.
It means divesting and reinvesting in other programs that could possibly keep certain issues from taking place. So reinvesting in social work, reinvesting in community programming that will ultimately curb the needs to go to mental illness calls and things like that. Defunding the police is more so not having police officers to respond to calls such as someone's threatening to kill themselves, or someone who's having a mental breakdown. So it's more so just like pulling resources and putting them where they're needed, especially in African American communities. So I don't see anything wrong with the defund the police idea. I 100% agree with it. What y'all's mayor did, because I don't live in the city anymore, so she's not my mayor. That's y'all's people. I don't know who told her that was a good idea. Like, I'm not sure who was in her ear, who's her right-hand person, who's her assistant. Like, somebody should have told her, ma'am, you probably shouldn't do that. Because she did put a lot of lives at risk. Because there is a demographic of people who want to see these particular people hurt. So that
absolutely.
So I think that was a very, very Elle Woods blind moment that she had. And I would definitely agree that she needs to probably tuck her tail and resign. For sure. Yeah. She definitely should.
That's a hard pill to swallow. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I wanted to add to what you said about defunding the police. The general gist of it is and B did a great job of explaining it, but it goes back to, like you said, the core issues, and one of those core issues is education, and the inequities in our communities for education. Education is basically, they lose budgets every year in education. um they tell you, oh, we don't have books anymore, but we got these nice iPads, right? But the kids use the iPads to surf the web basically all day. They don't learn anything on the damn iPads, right?
That,
That's another topic I'll get on later, because I used to teach. If you didn't know, I used to work in education, to any of our listeners. And I wholeheartedly believe that, the school to prison pipeline is real. And I'm going to tell you for a reason that's not so obvious to most. Um, the same companies that do lunch programs, that publish books, that make freaking pencils and contracted to build schools are the exact same companies that are contracted to do those same things for prisons.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that it's kind of a plot twist type deal.
School to prison pipeline, that's a facet of it out.
Yeah, it's real, bro. Like the same, people think like, how can you get a degree or a diploma in prison, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to say that, but think about it. How can that happen, right? There has to be some type of program and curriculum set up. Well, the prisons don't develop it. Who develops it? The same people that develop that shit for our children. So
Right.
I'll get off of that. We'll come back to that a whole nother day. But
Good point, man.
when you start moving money around, because education is just, and I mean, everybody has it hard. Teachers have it hard. Police officers have it hard. We know this. We're not oblivious to this, right? But your job is a choice, and all jobs matter. And that's just where I'm gonna leave it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the reality is everybody can't do everything, and I don't mean that from a standpoint of intelligence. It's a brother in the hood that's smart as hell that'll never get an opportunity to be a physician. Why? Because he can't afford it. So I'll leave that there.
I appreciate the education. Like I said, I'd heard of it, and I'd heard different people say different things. Clearly, props to both of you all, because that's like the most precise information I got. One thing was, it's this or it's that or whatever. As long as I'm with the whole monies being allocated to things that we definitely need within the Black community, man, I'm with that, and I believe that that's just the beginning of shaking that tree as far as things that need to be funded and money is being placed in other places that actually help our community in particular. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
And I'll tell you real quick, listening to you speak, AI, it kind of created a new fear for me about schooling, because it's like, just with us being in school and what we saw after we all graduated and stuff like that, you saw the books leaving the classroom. You saw the neighborhood libraries closing.
Yeah.
And everything kind of being, at least it looks as if it's a digital exchange, which always worried me. Sometimes too much technology could be a not so good thing, even though we tend to think of it as a linear advancement, if you will. Mm-hmm. But this whole COVID thing, the number one thing I asked about with COVID, and what does the future look like, is really the schooling for children, in grades K through 12. Like, what is this thing going to look like? And if it's the whole iPad, and you could, generally speaking, maybe surfing the web all day and all of this other stuff. And even my friends who had children, I paid attention to what they were saying in the months of like March, definitely April and May, how the kids kind of were waking up whenever they wanted to. Just, it's kind of like during those formative years, you do need discipline, you need educational discipline, educational structure. So I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm a little nervous about this. How does this look? Somebody said a long time ago, before COVID happened, that we were getting to the place where it wasn't even about private schools anymore. If you wanted to go to school, and I'm talking about elementary, middle school, and high school, that it was going to be a fee, or either you were going to kind of the arena for service jobs versus, career jobs. And that it ain't gonna be you gotta pay to go to college. It's like, hey, you wanna be in 5th grade and be something, Johnny? Or is McDonald's your future? We'll put you in the school of McDonald's. Like, and I thought that shit was wild, but now I'm looking at things and I'm like, that person might have. It's just like you, and if it wasn't a picture, it did not happen. I'll say that.
Well, real quick, them people's president just signed an order. I saw it on USA Today that college credit would no longer trump actual job skills when it comes to applying for jobs.
I just saw.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's interesting, and I'm interested to see, how I could go and just, I be cooking in my kitchen. I could be a chemist,
right.
because I have those skills, but not the degree. Like, it's really weird.
I see what you mean.
So like it's in a way, it's like the good and the bad, but we'll see.
It's almost, to me, we're saying things that are kind of hand in hand, because it's almost going to be the new currency will be information.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be attention anymore. So IG models, it's about time to wrap it up. Y'all kind of played out anyway. But right, and IG thugs. We saw your mama's insurance card in the car you front in. So anyway, it's just gonna be the new currency may be information and how that can be applicable to what you can do, especially if it's just, do you have the skill to do this? Fuck if you went to Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? That kind of exists a little bit now, though.
A little bit. I'm with you. I'm smelling you, bro. I'm smelling
you. Where I'm going?
Yeah. Pause.
That's why people kept pushing. If you notice, a couple years ago, it was just this real big talk about trade, learning to trade, which I do agree with. I think you can go. I'm a college graduate, whatever, but I do feel that having some kind of trade will help you too. But then here's the funny thing: you got to go get with old Willie or somebody to learn a certain trade now, because the trade schools and everything's shutting down. Mm-hmm. So it's now, it's just an interesting thing.
And then you can become a carpenter, you can become a welder, you can do diesel, like you become a mechanic in prison. So it all goes back to the schools and prison.
So let me go rob a bank, do 10 years, and then I can come out and get a good job at Home Depot. You know what I'm saying? Fucked up, but stranger than, fiction is non-fiction is stranger than fiction sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we need to figure out a name for our listeners, the commentarians. The commentarians, that's what we're gonna call them. The commentarians, stay tuned.
Right.
We're gonna give you some updates on that as things escalate, man. Well, not escalate, but as they go on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens, because that was a lot.
Yeah, I was shocked. I definitely was shocked.
Especially from her, because she was supposed to kind of be the one to, coming off of her predecessor. Like, you're supposed to continue the work. We, supposed to be the one who's going to lead us. I've been to a few protests downtown where she was out there as if, she was really for the cause. And here you are, you turn around and do this. You kind of just backtrack. You definitely dismantled the work that we thought that you were doing.
Well, she had hot sauce in her bag.
That's fine.
Is it working? Here it is. Yeah.
Maybe switch it around.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna put my foot on the clutch and pull the lever and shift gears here on y'all, man.
Because I was about to say something about hot sauce in my bag.
I already know. I saw it brewing. Hey, bro, go ahead and hit it, man. Go ahead and hit it. Go ahead and hit it.
Hansel and Gretel. Okay, moving right along. Moving right on. Oh, don't eat kids. Moving along. Yes.
Laying the crumbs down, baby. Oh man. So
watch out for error. Moving on.
We were having a discussion. We kind of touched a week or so ago. We were talking about side pieces, and we were talking about
it is time we have all been waiting for.
we kind of touched on it.
And Daryl, don't feel free to jump in.
Yeah.
Love you when you jump in. And
Daryl Riley is in the building. Come pop on if you can, Daryl. I don't know. It's early in the morning. I don't know. He might be looking rough or something.
No, I'm here. No, I am looking rough. That's why my video is definitely not on.
I got you.
And I ain't even got my mic set up. I'm straight laid up.
Hey, you good,
I'm
bro?
producer. I got everything hooked up. I'm laid all up out here. But no, I really want Harlem to really dive into this for us because she kind of picked this up. The streets. We do have an email for Harlem though. If we want me to jump into that, to just kind of go along with this.
Yeah. Let's hit it.
Let me jump into the emails real quick. I mean, we've been shouting out the email, so it's about time we go ahead and jump into it.
The email is commentary
show
at gmail.com.
I want to give a special, we don't shout this brother out enough, along with our great brother Daryl. We want to shout out our great brother and my north side brother Matt. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Gotta shout him out, man. We thank you, Matt. We thank you, Daryl, man. We appreciate y'all letting us risk it all by the things that we say.
Risk it all.
Going raw.
Sauce and not eating kids and spirit cooking. So we're not going to talk about any of that. And don't look that up at all.
Matt definitely wrangles us in. Like, nope.
Nope. Taking that out.
Nope.
We have a whole lost episode. One day, in 20 years, you might be able to see it.
Yep.
Hey,
it's a one.
We got your text this morning, Matt. We were trying to throw it in. I'll see if we can maybe slide it in. It'll be a quick one. This
email is from Rhonda. She says, Harlem, thank you for being a voice on this network. There's not too many women I get to see or hear from. This is an interesting question just to throw it out there about you. Getting to know you from the podcast. Do you watch the Housewives of any of the Housewives shows? And if you do, who would you compare yourself to the most?
Okay.
See, she thought it would be some bullshit, and somebody actually was giving her props.
No, they get in my DM with all the bullshit for it.
Oh.
They get in.
They hate Alan's DMs.
I never read the comments or the emails. That's how I stay safe.
All right, Rhonda, let's see. So I do watch the Housewives. I am a Potomac fan. I would probably say if I had to be like a mashup, it would be of Karen from the Housewives of Potomac and probably Robin. No, because I'm messy like Giselle. So I would probably say Karen and Giselle, like a good.
You're definitely Giselle. Stop it. You're Giselle. Stop it. Keep it moving.
Yep, I would definitely. Yep, if I'm being completely honest, I would say I'm bougie like Karen and messy as hell like Giselle. Yeah. So yeah.
Do y'all think? I mean, this is just some randomness, brother. Y'all can answer real quick. Do y'all think a husband? I mean, I know they had the comedy with Kevin Hart, but do you think they can really do that with dudes? I don't think dudes are like let they stuff really get out there. Honestly,
feel like
no, I don't think it will work.
The house,
the house players of Houston or something, you know.
Yeah, like you've had the shows where like Mike Vick was on the basketball, baseball, football wives, whatever that was. It doesn't work. Because they end up being messy like women.
And we're or if we just being regular, we're boring.
Yep.
Like, man, I'm finna go pick up AI, man. We finna go get a beer. You know how it is. Yeah. Get there and it's like, hey man, you see that Jordan coming back? Oh, word. And that's the episode. It's like these cats is boring.
Oh wow. Hey.
What?
Just a quick FYI sidebar. So I guess I talked this up. Lyda Krewson just made national headlines.
Yeah, I think that was gonna happen today,
the
bro.
pressure is on.
Yeah.
She jumped in the pressure cooker.
You're right.
Yeah. Yep, she gonna have to resign.
I'm on MSN right now. I'm great. Check CNN. I kind of keep this going. Let's see.
Tell me who hates me today.
No, but I agree. We would be boring. We don't need to. Hey man, you know I jack off with Ben Gay. We're stealing for you too.
This is why.
That's why we can't have a show. It would be stupid.
Too far.
It would be stupid.
Alan, Go ahead on with your topic because
go ahead. You know the side chick anthem. What do we call this section? Go ahead. Let's run it. The addendums of a side chick. Let's go.
Piece.
Side piece, because you could be a side piece and be a man as well. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yes.
So Daryl, because you like to just pop in and just say little things. What do you break that down? What does that mean?
Have you ever been someone's side anything?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think there's not a person in the world that hasn't been.
Okay.
Unknowingly or knowingly. Like, I think everybody's meant, even if you knew it or not, you have been.
The unknown side
I
is.
think that, like, if you're gonna, the addendum, like the monkey wrench that gets thrown into these type of situations is when the side person catches feelings and thinks that they're more entitled to what they signed up for. Especially if they know. That's the problem.
They want to go from the side to being all in your mind.
No, because then like, nope. So that's where the addendum part comes in. So it has to be like a mutual understanding. So I've written about this years ago, the Confessions of a Side Chick, part 1 and 2.
Nice.
It was real life, true story. This was before Olivia Pope was popular. So this was before being a mistress became mainstream. I was young. It was what it was. I'm not ashamed of it. I could really care less what people think. You can Google it. You can find it. It was all on Baller Alert. Whatever. I say that to say, I still remain.
People are pausing the show right now, running the Baller Alert right now. Like,
I'll be sure to post the links on my social media so that they can easily find it once we post the show. But like, I still remain friends with this individual for it's 10 years now. So where everybody's had their own relationships and you still are able to maintain some type of situationship, some type of friendship without the boundaries ever have been crossed. And that's where, for me, that's where the addendum is, because still right now I'm single. I don't know if he's single. I don't really care, but it's just like we still are friends. Our relationship will always be what it is. It's like we're indebted. So I think that's where the addendum comes. You have to do what works for you. I'm not telling nobody to go be a side chick. Do what you do, child, because I don't want nobody calling me no home wrecker, because I don't wreck homes, but I tear an apartment up. But people just have to do what's best for them. I think that's the thing.
Can I say 2 things real quick?
Whatever works.
Number 1, this is kind of like the M2 theory. You ever heard this? So y'all might be a little too young to remember. What was it? You, me, and she, or you, me, and he? You, me.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And then number 2, I forgot what number 2 was. I'm
so mesmerizing. But yeah, I'm not, people didn't, mistresses and have been a thing that's old as time itself. I'm not telling nobody to stick around like their grandmas did when they found out grandpa had a family down the street. Like, none of that.
Man, that's real.
Like, that's the problem. We not sticking around for side babies in 2020. Like, you go on down the street with Miss Ethel and leave me alone. But it has to be like a mutual level of respect. And having a relationship outside of your relationship isn't always sex either. That's where people get confused, and that's when they want to call you a hoe. Cheating is cheating, but there are, precursors to certain situations, I believe.
What do you want to tap on those? Just give us a couple of bullet points on those precursors.
Okay. So for me, the main one has always been intimacy. Intimacy is not always sex. It could literally just be listening, talking, sharing moments, being able to confide in a person when you can't typically do that at home.
That's dangerous.
A level of peace definitely sometimes comes from an outside source that is not your mate, as well as a level of understanding. I think sometimes that alternate person, and I'm saying that alternate person because, again, I'm not encouraging no woman to go and be a side chick. But I do encourage men to be a side nigga, though. But that's neither here nor there. A complete level of understanding, I think, sometimes comes from just a totally different person. And it can create a very happy home situation by being able to take all of the stress off of your mate and allowing them to play their role, do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, you have an alternate source to get what you need when you aren't getting it at home, but you want to stay where you at.
I think that's a whole, what you just said, that's a whole nother dynamic when you got it cracking, but you want to stay where you at. Like I'm not gonna do it.
And notice I ain't saying nothing about sex.
I know. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general. I mean, so you said something that was interesting there. You said that you're not telling the ladies to necessarily go be side pieces, but you might be encouraging the fellas to step on out on that. What's going on? How do you feel? What's happening with that? Why do you don't even got to touch the ladies? Why do you think that the fellas should explore that?
Because sometimes women just need that. And I think for right now, in some of this climate that we're in, a lot of men really don't want to be in a relationship. They really prefer to just have it how they want it. And unbeknownst to men, women think like that too right now. A lot of women feel like that. I want what I want, when I want it, and I'll see you later. Whatever that may look like. Is a lot of women are moving into the on my terms, when I say so, and I'll deal with you when I feel like dealing with you.
Man, we gotta take some of y'all success away. I don't like that shit.
It is what it is.
You said take some of their success
You
away.
gotta take some of their success away. I don't like that shit.
I definitely, like, that's just an observation that I've made over the years. Like I said, there's been times, like even for me, I required that level of friendship and intimacy that did not have anything to do with sex, even while I was in prison in my last relationship. Like I required that level of like friendship that I needed to sustain just and be able to function at home.
Yeah, I'm with you on. I think that
I definitely think it just takes the responsibility out of relationships.
I also agree with that as well. I had this conversation last night with the fellas, man. Damn.
It takes the responsibility. But again, I'm not telling nobody to go cheat. So don't jump in Allen DMs talking about I'm a home wrecker, a hoe, all of that. Because really, number one, I don't care. But I'm just saying people have to do what's best for them. And when you do that, you definitely will live a stress-free and a happy life.
Well, my phone is dry now. I quit getting those text messages after, not text, but those DMs after summer 18. So.
But you know, they're going to jump in your DMs after they hear this and say it's probably stolen content and that I'm a hoe and a whore and whatever. But
they don't jump in my DMs when they see this motherfucking box, nigga.
Yeah.
And little goatee.
Right.
Yeah, but I definitely appreciate I don't call him a side piece no more. He's definitely a lifelong friend. Like I would probably be sitting next to his wife or girlfriend at the funeral when he turned 80. When he did at 80, crying right along with him.
Yeah, friendship is hella important. Like I think that probably over the past year, really, I learned that needs to be there. And I'm not just talking. I'm talking about any capacity. Hey, look, there's a reason we gave me the pimp chair this week. Okay, there's a reason that the wicker chair is there. Just remember that. Okay, look, we gave.
I love them ladies. I love them ladies.
Yeah, man.
Notice I'm quiet this whole time. I ain't got nothing.
Hey, look, I was getting ready to pull you in, bro, because you were quiet.
No need. I just love is where you find it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Love is where you find it. That's all I can. Shit, you know what? The one thing though, man, like nobody wants to talk about this because
we can't see your face, man.
I don't know if I want my face to be seen.
Let me move over.
Shit. Address all emails to AI.
commentaryshow@gmail.com.
No, but you know, I'll say this much, man, because for me to talk about this, that'll be on my pay-per-view. You know, I plan on ditching them and doing pay-per-view, by the way. No, but seriously, man, as we get older, we like to have this whole idea of romance or romantic. We ain't Romans, but that's a whole nother thing. But shit gets complicated. Life is complicated, man. Things change. Just, you know, love changes. Frequency changes. You know what I mean? And sometimes we hold on to people because of that's all, you know, you're the only person I knew. And sometimes motherfuckers hold on to each other because somebody got Spectrum and the other person got, what's the AT&T U-verse or some shit. Like, as stupid as that sounds, you'll be surprised why people stick together and try to stick it out versus going with what they're being told or they feel internally. A lot of people talk about home wrecking. When you think about a home wrecker, you think about this big wrecking ball knocking a building down, but a lot of times that wrecking ball exists within the house and it goes outward. So
that was a really powerful statement, bro.
Thank you. I'm trying to get it.
And sometimes you have to understand that your person in this life is not always the person that you're going to end up with. So the person that you're with doesn't always mean that they're your person in this life. And sometimes you have a person and you just can't be with them for whatever reason. And that creates a totally different dynamic. Shit just is weird. I don't know. But
I'm with you.
Like I said, I appreciate the level of friendship that I have with this individual, and that is what has created the addendum to side piecing. Because if you read Confessions of a Side Chick Part 1 and 2, you will see that the situation was a crazy ass situation. So to have evolved damn near 8 years later is crazy. It's definitely crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
oh man.
I think that I know that you all said something that's very important. And I think a lot of times, I definitely know in my life, women hated hearing this. But when you have a man say like, yo, I'm really trying to be your friend, please listen to me, women, sisters. If a man is saying that and he's genuine, then that's a man's way of saying, you know what, I really do want to see if we could be life partners, however that looks. Marriage, friendship, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Because even with friendship, like I'm telling you, friendship is a powerful word. And a lot of times with me, and trust me, brothers, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or right, for us to open up and be a friend, not just using it as some passe word, but to be a friend is for you to learn about us, understand us, see our fears, a whole bunch of stuff, man. We open up, you know, and if you that sister that's being chosen for that, and I like I tell people, I'd rather have you respect me than love me. I'd rather you be my friend versus anything else. And I say all that because these are foundations. So I'm not here to judge anybody if it was a side situation that equaled a great friendship. It might have been, you know, shit, that's what might have had to happen in order for that friendship and life partnership to be realized, man. All of us have complicated lives. If you sitting there thinking yours is simple, you probably going through this shit times 5. It's just hidden from you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I find it quite interesting, man. You know, but
yeah.
And one thing my older sister told me, she said, and I share this with the fellas 101. We can still cuss on her, right? Because I probably am blue if we couldn't.
I've been cussing all day. It's probably the most
I
cuss.
man, y'all all good. Quit stopping.
So anyway, fellas, if you're really interested in a woman, like you are interested in her, to build with her, to develop a friendship and stuff, say that. If you just trying to smash, get some ass, say that.
Say that.
I heard it from the sister here, and a lot of sisters, women, period, be that way. Say what you mean and mean what you say, and no addendums to that. Because a lot of brothers be like, shoot, I just want to fuck. And then she be like, all right, you know, we can fuck, you know, and all that. Then you catch feelings, you want to switch it up. So you really didn't just want to fuck.
Right. And here's the thing.
No. I'm about to add on to that, Rashad. That's a lot of ego with that. If some cats still just want to do that, they just don't want nobody else in it either. So it may not.
You kind of saying what I'm saying. That's a facet of what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he didn't really catch feelings. Is my whole point. He's just trying to have ownership over that woman.
You can say, now look, I hear you, but
he like a dog pissing on a tree.
Yeah, exactly. Like he don't want nobody. I don't want her. I mean, even though I want her when I want her, but nobody else can have it.
But is emotion not rooted in that egotism in some shape, form, or fashion?
I think ego. You have to get through ego to get to emotion.
I think it's the other way around.
You think emotion?
I do. I think you could come from the ego. A lot of times when brothers come from the ego, I just want to fuck, and she'll be another notch in my belt. Let it be some good loving and all of that other stuff. Okay, I don't care what no brother say. It's gonna pull some emotion out of you, and a lot of times that emotional aspect is covered by egotism. You know what I mean? So I think they hand in hand, man. Like best soda and Chinese food. You know what I'm saying?
That's some St. Louis stuff right there.
But I have to say that it's like two sides of a coin. You know what I mean? But Daryl, let's be honest, we know brothers, we personally know brothers who we would never name on the show, who tried to enter games as a player, and then
yes, snake eyes.
I'm brothers. No.
Again, I'll just add to that. Like, we appreciate the honesty because there are a lot of, like, where women are for the most part now is, I'm not trying to sleep with you just to be sleeping with you just because, like, you know, if that's what I choose to do, that's what I choose to do, but it's probably because I'm in a place in my life where I don't need you for shit else. Just trying to smash and pass, going on about your day. So we do appreciate the honesty, but men can't handle that level of honesty either. If a woman walks up to you and says, I don't want no relationship with you, I'm just trying to fuck. A man's ego is gonna tell him like, bitch, what? No. A man's ego can't handle that honesty.
That's before midnight.
Hey, look, if I was single right now and I got that call.
The male ego cannot handle a woman simply wanting to sleep with him and not wanting shit else from him, especially if he likes her.
Well, see, you threw a ace in there if he likes her.
Well, you have to like her to want to fuck her.
No, sometimes not now with guys.
Nah.
Girl, the most emotional one on her. So.
Oh, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Not.
That's why he's quiet. You see his
Girl, where you go?
You see his little squares.
I'm here. I'm not emotional like that.
You're right. Nah, like if a dude, if a dude's liking on you, see that's the thing. Like if he liking you and I think she's so pretty, so purty, and want to get to know her and stuff, and you just like, hey, I'm trying to smash. That his ego not okay.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
And his emotions and his ideas and fantasies and purple horseshoes and green diamonds, everything is destroyed, right?
So basically what you're saying is men just fuck anything.
No, here we go.
Anything, because it could just be, hey, you cool, I'm cool, you got a pussy, I got a dick, fuck style. All right, I'll see you later. Matter of fact, drop me off over my mama's house. But then there's some people who just like, it ain't like that. But always, the greatest rapper to ever make a comment, towards this situation that I share with everybody, was the late great, rest in peace, Soulja Slim. The outside dick theory. That outside, okay. I just wanted to.
No, break that down. I don't even know this.
Wait, y'all ain't never heard that? Outside.
Slow motion.
Oh, slow motion. Yeah.
So I would tell my sisters, if you just trying to Russian roulette your draws.
He said Russian roulette, bro.
I say fellas that too, boy, because it's more than COVID out on this motherfucker that lands you on grand. So
man.
I mean, I always thought that the best one in this situation was the great, Mos Def, when he says on Miss Fat Booty remix, and he says, if you ask for what you ask for, you might get in heaps, and if after you get it, you tell God, oh no, he said no, that's yours to keep, because whatever you want, you be wanting it so much, you get it. After you get it, it's yours now. So you got to deal with it.
And then give or take everything that we're talking about, fellas and sisters, one of the facets of this is is your POG on point? Pull out game. Cause you can play this game, you can do all of this shit, and if you fucking and you can't, you a stutter fucker. Now you got a lifetime of why even do this shit.
Are we not wearing condoms in this one?
Yeah, we wear your mask, fellas.
That outside.
Wear your mask.
Wear your dick mask.
I'm just this, Tupac said it best. I don't want to be a man. I want to be a nigga. We're fine with that. Some of us are perfectly fine with that. I don't. Yeah, we're with that.
What's the expiration date on niggatry?
I don't think there ever is gonna be one, bro. It's in our bloodline. It's in our DNA. Like, I think there's gonna be a point, bro, like where maybe my son or his son or daughter or whatever is gonna be like a great person and exceptional in this world, bro, and have the luxuries that other people are able to have, but still deep down inside, bro, that cookout mentality is gonna be there, bro. I don't think there's any expiration date on it, bro. It'll just be wrong.
I got best soda in my veins.
Yeah, I think it's not going anywhere, bro. It's not going anywhere. Nah.
You're totally taking an extreme left. What's next?
So we're starting something new. B has a segment, a piece, and we're gonna call it "Say Less." So where "Say Less" was birthed from, we actually spoke on this. So if you're familiar, I think it was episode 3.
Yeah.
Where we talked about "Say Less." So if you
episode we didn't release AI, is that the one we didn't release?
What is so we're on episode 6. So episode 4 would have been the.
It's episode 4. It's episode 4.
Episode 4. Okay.
I mean, it's out there if you can find it you can stream it somewhere, but you can't get it nowhere. If that makes sense.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, man. So where this was birthed from, B had a little situation. We all in B love life on this thing. So B had a little situation, and she let it be known to us. Like, we were like going in today. I didn't even realize the time. Damn. She let it be known to us that she doesn't like it when a gentleman or a suitor ask her questions when she wants or needs something. I think there's a lot of ladies, right? So, but I'm gonna let you elaborate. And this segment is called "Say Less." So elaborate on where this comes from, since this is the first one going in, and then give us that moment for this episode.
All right. So where it all originated from was, and this was just a post that I made. I said it's something about a man who simply says "say less" when I make a request, because the can'ts and won'ts don't entice me, right? So just say less. And I think a lot of women would agree. We appreciate a man who says "say no more," "say less" when we ask something very, very simple, right? Okay. Yeah. When y'all say less to us, sometimes it's really y'all telling us to shut up, and that's not what this is. Okay. So, sometimes ladies know the difference. Sometimes when your man tell you say less, he really is trying to be nice and telling you to shut up. This is not that. So I really haven't had any say less moments lately because I've been too busy just being regular. But so on the flip side of that, so once a particular person saw my post, now no matter what I say, which is something so simple as, "Ooh, I need some cranberry juice," say less. That's not what this is. Do not keep saying "say less" just because you think it excites me, which is the problem. So I'm kind of having a little backfire moment with that at this moment. So ain't nobody said "say less" because I haven't asked.
Oh man,
to death, and I don't like it.
I'm gonna make you some intro music for the "Say Less" segment.
You got to. It's got to. Yeah, you have to, because
So the "say less" is gonna have to develop and evolve over time, because people are just trying to use this to say less thing, like I'm just gonna get over and just say less but don't do nothing.
Yeah, or just because now you know that that's a thing for me. Now you say no more, say less. damn, nigga, all I asked for was some cranberry juice. Like, that's not a say less moment. If I ask you to pay my car note or pay this rent, then you say less.
Yeah, I would have had to suck my teeth on that one.
That's where the say less is. Not, I need to cut my bread. Say less. No, nope.
So what qualifies a say lesser and a say lessee? Or you the say lesser as telling? Oh, obviously you are.
I'm not gonna. Right. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't tell men to say less. I tell them shut up.
Oh, you tell them to shut up. Okay. So if they say, "Hey, I want to pay your rent," shut up.
Say no more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Say no more.
Damn.
So we don't evolve to say less.
Strange world we live in.
But that's where say less, the say less commentary came from.
Commentarians, Say Less will develop. We'll be back at you with Say Less. If you have some questions on Say Less, hit us on the email. Make sure.
I want to hear some women say less moments. Like, what do
yeah.
you want to hear men say less to when they ask? That's what I want.
Yeah, hit us up. You can also hit us on the Facebook group. It is Commentary Discussion Group on Facebook. Commentary Discussion Group. So you can throw your stuff in there as well. We'll be on the lookout for that, and we're gonna start wrapping it up. A couple of days ago, St. Louis did St. Louis, man, and we took a pretty heavy loss. To the world, he's known as Huey. To St. Louis, we call him LJ, Lawrence, Lil Lawrence, whatever, you know. Rest in power, brother, on that one for sure. But he was shot and killed the other night, and me being a DJ, I knew him socially. We weren't tight, but you know, you would see him on the scene, and back in 2006 when he was popping. St. Louis was a good place back then, man. We had a lot going on, bro. It was a good place. Oh man.
Just real quick, AI, just so the people know, like, and I'm glad you said that, and that's what makes this show even that much tighter. Sister Harlem B, great brother AI, great brother Daryl, and myself, we've all known each other for over 10 years.
Yeah.
It goes back to the good times that AI that you're talking about, man. You know, as far as like the good St. Louis, the potential is still here, but I'm not gonna go into that. But back then, it was just so much fun. And you had Huey, you had so many things popping. And our friendship and workship and eventship and niggership goes back a decade plus.
Yeah.
Definitely niggership. But go ahead,
Now let's do an episode on that, because I'm gonna just run through it real quick. We definitely gonna shout out this out to Huey, but at the same time, we had 4 national recording acts, actually 5. We had Pretty Willie or P-Dub, we had Nelly, we had Chingy, we had Jaquan, and we had Huey.
Yep.
We had the St. Louis Cardinals, we had the Rams, we had a few major worldwide headquarters, Anheuser-Busch, Edward Jones, Wells Fargo was coming into the market around that time. What else, man? Like St. Louis was, and I'm talking, this was when you could, and then
still got Nestle Purina still.
Nestle Purina, yep, you're absolutely right. Their headquarters is here. Then we had BMF, the BMF boys, because a lot of people didn't know that.
People sleep that St. Louis was very big on BMF.
Bro, this was like one of their top 3 hubs, bro. Like,
yeah, what you call it? The brother got popped in North County.
Yeah. Meech, not Meech.
Meech, the other brother.
J-Bo.
No. The other dude, Meech's brother, got popped in North County.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, T-Hawk, or what is it?
That's Southwest.
Yeah, he got popped in North County off West Flores in the Hawks Ferry, the crib.
Yeah, a couple of their guys got caught here when they was on the run. But that's here nor there. That's here. We won't jump into that. The good times.
Another episode we can't play.
Yeah, no, we need to get. I need to reach out. I know some people that know J-Bot. That'd be a dope guest though for the show. I need to reach out and see. That'd be good.
That'd be dope. Hey, no pun intended. But anyway, like,
yeah, go ahead.
No, but
can I say this real quick, AI?
Yeah.
This is gonna make you laugh. In 2006, I would say 2006 through 2000, maybe 10, 11-ish, AI, correct me if I'm wrong. This was the first wave of people. First off, shout out to all my family in Atlanta. ATL is like my second home. and Chicago's like my second home. But I gotta say this: it was a lot of people who left St. Louis to go to Atlanta because they hated St. Louis. This was the first wave of the motherfuckers coming back. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
2006.
Huey was in Atlanta for a while. He was in the A.
He was going to go get his handle his business though, get his money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who ran because they got ran through. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on, let's get back to it. No, forgive us for that sidebar. We'll come back with an episode on. I'm gonna call it the old St. Louis.
We all part of the old STM.
Right.
But back Huey, man, shout out. Rest in power, brother. He leaves behind a 13-year-old daughter. A city that rocks with him, man. He was a good dude. I don't know anything surrounding the situation. I don't even indulge in things of that nature. Right. But these streets are wicked, man, and make sure you're not cashing checks you can't sign, or you around people that are cashing checks they can't sign. So that's not to implicate or imply anything with the situation whatsoever. But that's me telling you that the streets are crazy, man, and you just never know. I think it was, what was it? Who said it? That when I leave the house, I don't know if I'm coming home. That was Cain and Abel. There was a Cain and Abel verse when they were on No Limit. Can you all elaborate if you had any personal experiences with Huey, or just in passing, or maybe I know the last time that I saw him perform was at the Millennium Tour when Chingy brought him out to do Pop Lock and Drop It. I saw him in the club a couple of times after that, but that was like the last time I saw him perform live on that stage in the Chafers. So.
Well, I knew him, like he's always been Huey, but I knew him as LJ. We met in 2005. Like the end of 2005, Pop Lock and Drop It wasn't even a song just yet. He was still recording with Angie at her house. That was the producer or whatever.
Shout out Angie. Hey, she keep your head up, Angie. We love you.
That was his manager at the time. Pop Lock and Drop It wasn't even, like, it was in the works. So I literally saw the evolution from LJ to Baby Huey to just Huey to now, he was Huey Huff. But like he was my friend. I knew him for the better part of about 15 years. And so when I got the text that, the text just said Baby Huey died, I was, I'm trying to think like what other Baby Hueys do we know? Like, right. And what I can say about LJ is that in the years that I've known him, I've never heard of him being in any beef, any situations, nothing bad about him. Dude was literally a ball of fucking energy.
Good dude.
A really good dude. He was from Kinloch, which is like my family's hometown. He loved his little city, because Kinloch is a city in itself around here.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer Lewis, shout out.
Definitely. Auntie, getting her walk on her star on the Walk of Hall of Fame. But anyway, so this one feels personal. Like this one is tough for me because I know the type of person that LJ was. I know how he felt about his daughter. I know how he felt about family. I know how he felt about this city. So for him to lose his life for whatever reason on the damn near the ground that he bred life into, for real. Mm-hmm. It's hard to, it's really, really tough. This one feels really, really personal, for sure. This one is a tough one.
Well, I like to say this, but then I do want to bring it back. Well, if Daryl, has something to say, but bring it back to you, because I think on your Facebook, everybody go follow Harlem B. Her Facebook and Instagram is awesome. Like, seriously, this sister's golden. She's gonna leave us behind, I'm telling you. But the true transparent sister. But you said something that was very important just about violence amongst our people. I personally do not use the black on black crime term. I fucking hate that term. That was not created by us, and it ain't for us, but there are things we have to take care of. But you made a great comment. As far as me, I did not personally know Huey. I've seen him around. He's, you know, like if you want to sing and just involved in music, entertainment, DJing, you know, whatever, you never knew who would pop up at your shit, and you just never knew. You was like a stone's throw away from knowing.
All the time, Rashad. You just never know who's gonna come to your sets.
Like free time, they used to have all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? When I was doing cycle and shit too, and like AI know everybody, so that AI don't count because he cool with all the big stars. But the one thing I can say about the brother, the dude was dope. You know, his music was dope, and St. Louis has a lot of dope artists, in my opinion. We kind of get St. Louis artists kind of hit a ceiling, and that could be a conversation for the old St. Louis. But once St. Louis artists kind of get past the ceiling that exists here, which is really just a support ceiling, the world will always embrace St. Louis artists, man. Trust me. And he was one who broke through, had the country on lock, had the city on lock, and never heard anything negative about this brother. And a true test to music is when you can play something from 2006 and 2020, or 2019, because that was the last time I was really out, and it would shut your club down. Okay. Somebody made a comment where they were saying if it wasn't for Pop Lock and Drop It, something about a Megan Thee Stallion song or something.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting girls ready with the Megan.
But the thing is, it's a few St. Louis artists that set a lot of trends, and some that you don't even know. But Huey definitely, with that song and just his melodic flow and just his energy, in my opinion, I saw his influence and I still see it shining throughout the industry, man. So this brother definitely gets a salute. What I wanted to say real quick is you made a comment about, and I'm with you 100%, I stand with you 100% on this. Whenever there is, as brothers and sisters, we have a lot we have to worry about. And I've never been a person to say trade this one for that one. Unfortunately, a lot of our just these ill societal elements that's fucking us up left and right go hand in hand. So I say that to say this. I'm not a person, let's focus on crimes amongst our people and not trip off of police brutality, or let's trip off of police brutality and not this. Like, we got a lot to deal with. But one thing she said, and if you don't mind elaborating, is that you have these so-called leaders. We don't appoint these leaders, by the way. They're like self-proclaimed leaders, but that's a whole other conversation, that pop up whenever those news cameras are rolling, whenever there's something that's going to make like nationwide news, even though this did. But when it comes to things within our community, which I'm definitely an advocate for community work and community building, and by community, I mean Black community, so we don't get it twisted. You made a comment where you said these leaders, these so-called leaders, these so-called people get in front of all these cameras, they're not anywhere to be found. You remember that comment?
And they won't be. They're not going to be anywhere to be found. We have so many self-proclaimed leaders, and the ones, like in this city, everybody knows everybody. We were all on the scene at one point in time, especially around the time that LJ was, first emerging. And to see just like the silence of these people is like, oh, this messed up. I ain't even know the brother, but they're sad. But you have a platform to speak to the masses, to do something about this violence, to do something about the senseless killings, and you're not saying anything. Those are just the ones that I just don't respect. And I would think, but this is, the narrative is, when things like this happen, it's a lot of rah, rah, rah until the funeral. It was just like when Darren was killed a few years ago. It was so much that everybody had to say and everybody wanted to do, and we're going to rally and we're going to do this. I ain't seen James Clark say nothing about Huey. I haven't seen Better Family Life say anything about Huey. I'm not going to say this person's name on this show, but we all know this fake motivational speaker and all of his rah-rah stuff that he puts out and projects. He's not going to do anything about it. I just feel like if it's going to start, it's going to start with us, or if the cycle is going to continue. So I just don't even go into all of that, and just making sure that we keep where we are right now in this moment, just about respecting the legacy of Huey. Like, Huey was a peaceful person. He was so full of life. He was so full of energy. And we owe it to him to just respect that. And if anybody's gonna speak out, just speak out about the violence, because nobody deserves to die. But I know for a fact that LJ was one person that did not deserve what this city just dished out to him. Like, St. Louis eats is fucking young, spits them out. Like, this city is like the city that changed after dark. This, like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. That's why I'm not looking to none of these fake ass leaders to lead us into the light.
The one thing, I know we only got a couple minutes left. The one thing, if you don't mind me bouncing back off of what you said, the one, I agree with you. I would say the one person that I have, personally worked with, who I know has done things to bring certain awareness, I will have to give James Clark his props. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not something that you see. I can't speak on that, but as far as like work that I've done, he has been there when it was not, at least what I was involved with in that particular situation. He was involved, and he took great leadership amongst other brothers and sisters whose names we don't speak of or speak on. We may not even know them, who do a lot of work for the community, try to help with resources and so on and so forth. Because a lot of times, now everything's not just subjugated to this, but this is a part of it. Lack of resources, as we spoke earlier, lack of information and things can kind of create chaotic and cataclysmic situations. But sweetie, I agree with you 100%. And I know where you're coming from. To end this on a positive note, people like Harlem, my man D, Daryl, AI, Matt, and so on and so forth, you all do use y'all voices. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just, I'm going to say some stuff when, I might can get on HBO or Channel 5 or whatever. Like, y'all always do the work. So I salute y'all, man. I really appreciate and love y'all. And I also want, and I mean that, like, even when ain't nothing popping, y'all still talking about stuff for the betterment of our people and doing what you can. And it's a fucking stressful job, trust. But one of the cool things about Huey that I see, and I do my best to keep my spirits and energy and manifestation energy positive towards this, is that his death, it's been a long time since I've seen people in St. Louis who don't even know each other all kind of hop on one accord. Everybody's talking about brothers and sisters. We got to matter to each other. Man, the city is wilding and stuff like that. So just like with protests, we're in another situation where there is a stronger awareness. But I honestly feel that his death, I don't think the brother's going to pass in vain. At least my hopes is not that he does pass in vain. I don't think it's going to happen. Because I'm still, just the reaction showed me that energy is still there for people to get on one accord. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the beginning of something. And everybody said what you were saying, where it's like, look, we was all protest fresh in Juneteenth and all this shit last week. Now it's time to do the work. And I saw sisters and brothers and all of that. So, Huey, we salute you, man. You are an ancestor now. Love and peace, man. My heart goes out to your family and friends. And, we lost two brothers. And I hate to sound like redfish, bluefish, give a dog a bone, but the brother who did that shit, you know what I'm saying? Reciprocity from the spiritual realm, that's the nicest way to say it. We lost two brothers, man. So, Huey, the one we love, though, Huey, salute, man.
Yo, Huey, rest up, brother, man. Pleasure meeting and knowing you.
Energy would definitely be missed. He had an infectious personality. He was a good guy.
Yes. We're gonna call that a wrap.
Rest in peace, Huey, man. Definitely.
Yeah. Commentary, Intellectual Black Versation, episode number 6. Be sure you shout us out. Check us out on Facebook at the Commentary Discussion Group. Email is commentaryshow@gmail.com. I am Alan I.
Rashad is.
y'all know all my stuff, man.
You can follow everybody. Yo, can we take this up? We need to show this way, Daryl. Yeah. What do you think about the show, man? How do you feel?
It's dope, man. It's dope. I like that. I can just be behind the wheels and y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all rolling. Y'all rolling.
Oh, I thought you said roll. Whoa.
No, y'all rolling. Like it's the machine is rolling and the wheels are turning.
Cause I don't be doing this. Numbers good? Are we good?
No, y'all numbers is up there. Y'all numbers is up there with the scenarios almost at this point.
Man. Yeah. Scenario and the Lando Cal podcast is my favorite.
Women don't like me. That's what they tell Alan.
They like you.
I don't care.
You just nice, man. That's all.
Hey, they be on B in my DMs, man. Where did you find this bitch?
Oh my God.
Bro, I promise you, man. I one day I was gonna screenshot this shit, bro. Like send it to B, but I was like, we don't need them problems right now, bro. Let us get good and rolling so we can make them mad. Like, let us get good and rolling. I mean, it's maybe 3 or 4 times, man. Like, I've only had like one person come in there like on some for real, like, bullshit. But everybody else kind of it's that subtle hate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in the words of my least favorite rapper, we can end with it.
Yo, least favorite rapper.
He's mad. She's mad. Big mad.
Yeah.
On the next episode of Commentary, Intellectual Black Conversation, we will title it "We Hate Harlem B: The Reasons Why and Why She Don't Give a Fuck." Yeah.
I'm gonna tell the people to give me a list. I'm gonna keep everything anonymous. I'm telling them to hit me with a list. Like, why don't you like her? I want to see what comes back. Because it's just, I don't know. I think that people, man, I'm not gonna get into that right now. But jealousy's real. Maybe envy. And I tell people all the time, don't assume that you know people's situations, man. All this shit is made up.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things I would say about Harlem B, you gotta say their full name like a Tribe Called Quest, right? Is that like it or love it, hate it or fuck it, the girl is transparent.
Yeah.